be the Skips Outdoor Accents machine. From Springfield, Mass., it'll be Michael Hopkins.
Car number 55 is next from Lowell, Mass. In the Greater Blast Technologies car, Steve Fenaway.
Car number 2 is up next, starting 8th on the grid. That'll be the Propane Plus machine from Auburn, Mass. for Megan Fuller.
Then it will be Travis Hydar in car number 11 in the Hydar construction car as we are underway.
Field is green and racing at the bottom of turn number 1, Matt, and it looks like the battle of the championship already, and we haven't even turned one lap of half a mile. Chambrello is the leader of the pack, Nicole Chambrello, and right there with him is car number 01. On the bottom of the racetrack with Bissett. Talk about the cream already at the top, Matt. We've got a barn burner up front.
Yeah, Nicole Chambrello surrounded by the enemy, Johnny Walker, and also George Bissett. Jason Lafayette is 4th, Mike Hopkins in 5th. A lot of action in the middle of the pack, but in the front, Nicole Chambrello is in control. Here comes Johnny Walker making a lunge coming off the 4th corner.
Now remember, he is not planning on running each and every week here at Stafford, but the one thing that he did tell me in the paddock area, he says, I'm here to win. Not looking at points, I'm here to win. Meanwhile, Chambrello is the star of the show, and she continues to set a blistering pace at the point. Reeling him in, little cat and mouse action, like a Tom and Jerry cartoon. As they rumble off the turn, back to the stripe, it is still Nicole Chambrello, the leader of the pack, but the big question is, Matt, for how long?
And also in the neighborhood, Michael Hopkins, he tries to carve his way underneath the 21 of Lafayette. He came up empty.
Trouble now off turn number 4, car number 22 has come to a screeching halt, and that is Chris Sorello. And we saw that car make contact with the wall, the back end of the machine, as they scramble.
Almost making contact. And the drivers were in favor of it. It is not known how well these cars will respond to 30 laps. George Bissett Jr. said that he was going to make sure he saved something for the final 5 laps and hope that if he didn't have the lead, that the leaders would come back to him because he was going to conserve on his car. And I think a lot of the drivers, at least the front runners, will be using the same strategy.
I think you're right about that, Matt, because, again, it's a whole different ball game and a different game as there's the green back out on the racetrack, and Nicole Chambrello looks just as good as she did on the initial start, but you can never count out Johnny Walker. Walker goes to the outside. Bissett has the best seat in the house to watch, but he's a contender. Walker, inch by inch, I think I can. Chambrello works magic on the bottom. They touch off turn number 4. They click together again, but who's going to click off position 1, Matt?
They are surgically attached right now. Slight edge to Chambrello as Walker in her hip pocket, and Chambrello pulls away. There's an opening for Bissett. Let's see if he can ram his way into second.
They come back off turn number 4 and rumble back to the line. Bissett sees daylight on the bottom, orange and white car. The pup makes its move, and right there behind him is the number 78 machine for Michael Hopkins. He started back in the 6th position in this feature event. Walker shifts back, Bissett moves forward, Nicole is gone at the front of the field, and here comes the number 78 car, Matt, for Michael Hopkins. Hopkins is now trying to take over the 3rd spot, and the 21 is moving in of Jason Lafayette.
Deeper in the field, Paradise is able to get by Daniel Chuck, and he is currently on the outskirts of the top 10. So Paradise getting accustomed. What a battle for 3rd. Hopkins getting an attack from Walker on the outside. Walker all over the side of that car like aluminum siding on a building, and it is Hopkins by a quarter of a car as they hit the line to finish lap 7. Yellow is out.
Yellow is out. We believe it's for the 26 machine.
Oh, he is on the road of his own.
Yep. Just behind the NASCAR scoreboard here at the Stafford Motor Speedway.
So we are getting ready to resume our 30-lap feature. Remember, 10 laps more than we have been accustomed to. Johnny Walker put together quite a track record. He has 18 wins. He's been a most popular driver. He was a two-time Division 5 finalist in all of NASCAR and a two-time air stock champion, looking for his first ever street stock champion. He will be a part-time competitor this year as we get ready to turn him loose.
Off turn number 4. Picture perfect start again, but it is Chambrello by inches, but the pup, the set runs to the outside, high, wide, and handsome. Walker is there, and we haven't even begun to talk about Megan Fuller. She started 8th on the grid. She's up to the 4th spot, and I don't think Megan Fuller is done yet. You know, we have a program here at Stafford called Girls Night Out, and between Chambrello and Fuller, we could be experiencing that a little bit early this season, Matt.
And Chambrello in a battle at the front of the field with George Bissett Jr. She pulls away, entering turn number 3. Walker has room on the inside of Bissett as he tries to squeeze his way in there. Can't do it. Now Hopkins hangs Megan Fuller out on the outside groove, and then enables Jason Lafayette to rumble underneath the 2-car.
There's no question about it. Meanwhile, down the back straightaway, here comes the Hopkins machine. He's all over the back bumper of the Walker race car. Now, all of a sudden, keep your eyes on the deuce of Megan Fuller, because she is right there. Lafayette is there, and Travis Hydar is there. And maybe a surprise to some, Matt, is that 55 car. But you told us about that car for Steve Kenaway earlier in qualifying.
Former champion at Thompson Speedway. The yellow comes out, and we have a fracas in turn 2 and a little late hit. Bendiak against Gambacorta. It is Daniel Chuck spun in turn 2.
Every additional feature event, and it's worth it. And I've got a closet full of those at home.
I'm sure you do. You have more videos than CNN. Megan Fuller currently running 5th. She got her first career victory exactly 1 year ago today on May 4th, 2018. She is a past Rookie of the Year at Thompson, so she is in the middle of the action. But at the front of the action, it's a side-by-side scenario. You know, 2 drivers velcroed together at the front of the field. Here comes Bissett to take over the lead from Nicole Chambrello.
10 laps into the record books, and it is Bissett who quickly moves into the number 1 spot. Chambrello is still sitting in the 2nd spot. Meanwhile, here comes to the outside Hopkins with car number 78. Walker isn't done yet, Matt. He's right there to contend as well.
You wonder if Walker is playing the waiting game right now, or is he giving it everything he has? We know Hopkins is, because Hopkins is able to barrel his way into 3rd place as they torpedo their way into the 3rd corner. Megan Fuller on the outside of Lafayette. She is trying to lunge her way into the top 5, and she is going to be able to do it.
Certainly is, and it's still a long way to go because we've got 12 laps up on the board, and this one is 30, as Matt has pointed out. Meanwhile, trouble. Hitting at a ton is car number 84, the Randy Higginson car. It started 13th on the grid. It comes to a screeching halt underneath the Napa Auto Care Center's billboard in turn number 2. Berrigan, TAS Country Homes. Start-finish number 99 will also be on hand. So we double the field up, and it's showtime. 12 laps now complete. Getting ready, lights are off on the pace car. Here they come, down to the line. Beset by inches, but Nicole Chambrello still making him work for it, Matt, as we've got 4 cars contending for the same airspace.
Here comes Hopkins, taking 2nd away from Chambrello, and also moving up is Johnny Walker, as he is able to machete his way underneath the 16 car. So Nicole has fallen from 2nd to 4th, and Megan Fuller is right on her back bumper. But the drum major of the parade, George Bissett Jr., and right now, Badman, I think what he wants is a long green flag run so he can get some rhythm.
I think you're exactly right, Matt, because now we've got literally 6 cars at the front of the field. 13 laps. We're not even at the halfway point. And you mentioned it best when you said that a lot of these competitors have not had the opportunity to run the distance that we're running tonight. So being the first event of the season in this distance, it kind of is a double whammy. There are the 2 strong female contestants in this division. And that, of course, is the number 2 machine for Megan Fuller and the Chambrello number 16 car. We've got one around to the top side of the racetrack. Let's hope he can get it fired back up, or we are going to, nope, and not. And oh, that makes your blood boil when the caution comes out and the miracle begins and the car gets fired up.
Yeah, it's like there's rosary beads in the starter's
And when you talk to Chase, he'll tell you that that is the most competitive division that he has ever competed in, is the SKs here at Stafford.
Well, when you consider that he has been a competitor in the Whelen Modified Tour, the Valente Modified Racing Series, the Tri-Track Series, and the Open Modified Racing, that is quite a compliment that he has paid to our Stafford SK Modified division. So a very intriguing restart between George Bissett on the inside, and on the outside will be Mike Hopkins. So the man they call Lightning trying to get to the Mad Pup. But right now, Bissett is in control as they rumble to turn 2.
There's no question about it. If you had to give a most improved award, you would have to say Hopkins is a guy, since he started, has done just that. He competed in the Legends cars. Look at Walker. It's almost like Walker gets a second breath, and then all of a sudden he starts to come forward again. And Megan Fuller, she's a chip off the old block of the Fuller family, as she is looking strong again tonight in the upper groove in that white number 2, the Deuce is Wild. Now, the reason that car is number 2 is her grandfather's number was number 2, and that's part of the history of all of that great racing families.
And her grandfather, the Hall of Famer Jim McCallum.
Oh, look at Walker. He's sideways.
Boy, it looks like a pinball machine between Walker, Fuller, and Chambrello. Now it is Fuller going to the outside.
Oh, Chambrello. She gets hooked up, does a great job of saving it. Oh!
Clobbered by Secor.
Secor had no place to go down to the bottom, and
looks like a left front has been obliterated on the Chambrello car.
What a heartbreaker for her after turning heads today and running right up front in the competition. Secor, as we come back out, and it looks like she's going to rejoin us, Matt, with that number 16 car. Now, we just looked at it on the monitor, and if you saw it on the monitor, you would not believe that she would be able to return.
She must have a faith healer as a crew chief, because somehow that car is still moving. She said that it was going to be up to the last man standing to win this race, but she is standing, but at the rear of the field. At the front of the field is George Bissett. Once again, a critical double foul restart between he and Mike Hopkins. They're dead even heading into the first quarter.
There's no question about it. Bissett tries to guard the bottom lane, but on the outside, wheel to wheel and side by side, Hopkins looks racy, but here comes Megan Fuller. She's there with Walker. 4 cars, now single file. They come off the turn like a gaggle of geese as they work their magic back to the stripe.
Remember, this is a 1-year anniversary of Megan Fuller's only Stafford win, as she's putting the pressure on the tailpipe of the Johnny Walker car. Lafayette in 5th, Robinson 6th, Hydar 7th, Kinnaway 8th. And at the front of the field, here comes Hopkins. Do or die time for Hopkins as he tries to twist his way underneath Bissett.
Bissett drifts up the racetrack. He goes a little wide. That leaves the door open. There's no room at the end this time for the driver of car number 39. Bottom shot move. Here comes Walker. Now Megan Fuller. She comes back to life. Now the 21 machine of Jason Lafayette. Scramble at the front. New leader emerges. Hopkins is there. Who's the tail that wags the dog now? It looks like it's Johnny Walker. Here comes Lafayette, and Bissett is hung out to dry in the outside lane.
He is in trouble. No way for him to get to the inside. As when he wandered to the outside, the door was open, and it was a garage door for Hopkins. Now Lafayette streaks into third. Here comes Megan Fuller to the inside of Bissett. Halfway there underneath the 39 car as they mesmerize their way off the corner. Fuller trying to take fourth away from Bissett, and she does, and also gets by Lafayette.
Car number 89 also becomes a big factor in this one as they scramble and work their magic to the front of the field. Bissett is in trouble. He goes spinning like a top in front of Paradise, and now we go to yellow.
Boy, he looked like an airplane propeller, the way he was spinning around like the Wheel of Fortune, as it looked like contact between the officials are talking things over with him as the race is ready to resume.
Well, they are checking things over, as we said before. Tom Fox is at Race Central, along with Scott Tapley, the race director, and then we have Chris Gambatos checking things over, looking underneath the front of the Bissett machine. Bissett is out of the race car. He's looking at the right front, looking to take the hood off, and he's being given a message, can't do that here. Here's the green, and we are back, and it is Hopkins who is now at the front of the field. Walker still setting in second. Here comes Megan Fuller. She's in the third spot, looking Lafayette in the Tommy's Tattoo machine. He's running the outside. A little bit of contact further at the bottom of the top 10. Here comes Walker and Megan Fuller's car, showing a few battle scars, Matt, but she's not giving up. Megan Fuller dives to the inside, and Megan Fuller has moved into the catbird seat, the runner-up spot. Remember, a year ago, this was her big day, and she's looking to make it a repeat performance.
Boy, it was like an automatic door at a supermarket. It opened up and Fuller went into second. Third, a serious battle between Jason Lafayette in the 21 and Johnny Walker in the 01. Haidar is fifth, but making a move to the inside is Kenaway. Paradise is right there in the golden number 19. Lafayette squirms all over the track and loses 4 positions.
But he managed to keep it out of the fence, and that is important.
Look who just got by him underneath. Nicole Chambrello.
She's come back to life. 24, 6 circuits remaining. Out in front, it is Hopkins, the leader. Megan Fuller still running in second. Johnny Walker setting in the third spot. Travis in the fourth position. And now here comes Paradise. And we're not talking about the one on the beach. We're talking about the driver of car number 19.
Yeah, it is Paradise trying to bury his way underneath Kenaway. Didn't have enough muscle. He's being attacked by Robinson. Haidar making a move. And Haidar has moved almost into the top 3. Walker is holding him off.
They come off the turn. This is the podium. That's where you want to be as he come back to the line. And Travis Haidar is now moved on to the podium. Meanwhile, here comes the number 55 machine back to life. And that is Steve McKenaway, who started in the 7th position. He's coming to the front of the field. All of a sudden, Walker's car is backing up. That's not the story for Megan Fuller. Her car is picking up speed and trying to close in on the leader Hopkins with less than 3 circuits to go.
Well, Megan's Uncle Jimmy predicted that she would be moving quickly at the end of the race. Apparently, it was a good setup for that number 2 car. But Hopkins might have a better setup as he is leading by the length of a living room couch. Lafayette trying to get underneath Walker. He comes up empty-handed. He swivels around. Looks like a hula dancer in turn number 4, but is able to keep it off the wall again.
There's no question about it. Time is starting to run out as they head back to the stripe. This time, they'll be given the white flag. Less than half a mile left in the competition here. Megan Fuller's mother told me that today she was confident her daughter was going to have a great finish here at Stafford. We'll see as this is the final round of competition and final lap. Megan Fuller is reeling in on the back bumper of Hopkins. Hopkins down the back straightaway, deep into turn number 3. Bottom of the racetrack, Hopkins guards the spot. Here comes Fuller, reeling him in. They are close as they come off turn number 4. Ladies and gentlemen, Hopkins will take down the win. Fuller will finish in second. Travis Haidar for third. The 89 for fourth. McKenaway for fifth. Then it will be Johnny Walker with car number 01.
Ben Paradis behind him. Jason Lafayette will be next. So very
I apologize to the 39. I thought I was clear. I swear to God, Georgia, I wouldn't run you like that. If you got a flat, it's totally my fault, and you owe me one. I would never run you like that. So, man, what a race up front. Everybody was clean. Everybody ran good.
Big hug there from the champ.
Oh, man, yeah, I'm glad he didn't punch me right there. I could have hit him. Anyways, leading to a lot, thank you so much for sponsoring us this year. Sheds.net, Skips, you want a shed, go to see those guys. O'Sullivan Weldon, first win of the year, boys, let's get it done. And Tudor House Liquors, Johan, and I would not, I'd be amiss if I forgot my crew chief, Jarrett. He put the whole setup in this thing. He made all them changes, and he's so smart. I got to give him more credit because he's like the smartest guy in the world. I got to get off his back now.
Give it up, Michael Hopkins, winner in your street stock main event. Let's talk to Megan Fuller, second place in car number 2. Megan, man, good run. You were giving Hopkins there quite the run there, especially at the end.
Yeah, you know, he was definitely running pretty good today, but towards the end I started to get a bit tight, but I tried to correct it myself, and all in all, it was a pretty great day. So.
Seemed like the 2 was handling good, up top, down low. How was it running?
Yeah, it was running really well, and I can't thank my Uncle Jimmy and my dad and everyone who works on my car enough for how well it handles throughout the whole race.
She's the top driver here at Stafford, Megan Fuller, car number 2.
Thank you.
All right, second spot here in the street stocks. Third spot, Travis Hydar. Travis, man, the number 11 car. You had to fight for that. Congratulations, third place.
Yeah, thank you. It was a battle throughout the entire race, and, you know, I just kind of waited it out, and then when the time came, I just, you know, foot to the floor, got it through. But I'd like to thank my dad and my mom and my Uncle Jeff for coming up every week, and ITS Electric, Superior Comfort, Superior Signs for dressing up that beautiful hot rod, and Splash Water Delivery, Hydar Construction.
All right, Travis Hydar, congratulations, man. Third place here at Stafford in the street stock main event.
Morning, I'm feeling down. 'Cause all this life's such a drag. And I can help but stare at my cube and think about what good times we had. 'Cause every day was a Saturday. 'Cause I ain't got a thing to do but have a good time. That's right. Just won't have a good time. All night. That's right. That's right. I got some cold shilling on some ice. And all the fellas coming. Gonna drink us a beer tonight. Try to find me a girl or two. I hope you find me a redhead. 'Cause I've never been a woman. But I bet it'd be a good time.